Okay, and here we are on page 5 of the video notes, and I'm going to make the bottom one on there a try. So let's go ahead and do this top one together. It jumps right to application exercises. There's no practice plus in this section. You just get a chance to go right to it, and you can expect that you're going to translate to set up an inequality, because that's what we talked about in this section. So translate to an inequality, meaning you're going to use either greater than or less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, okay? And then we have to solve, which means you're going to be watching out for that red flag, pink because of my pink pen here, but red flag of multiplying or dividing both sides by negative. Okay, when you do that to both sides, that's when you flip the inequality. Okay. Alright, so let's go through this. We're going to read, take a deep cleansing breath, read it again, and then look at the information they give us, the goal that we're trying to reach. We'll bring any information that we have to the problem, set it up in an order that makes sense to us, and then solve. Okay, and then solving will be, the solving part is what we're going to be applying our information from this section about solving an inequality. Okay, let's read it. On 3 examinations, you have grades of 88, 78, and 86. There's still a final examination, which counts as 1 grade. In order to get an A, your average must be at least 90. If you get 100 on the final, compute your average and determine if an A in the course is possible. Part B, to earn a B in the course, you must have a final average of at least 80. What must you get on the final to earn a B in the course? So here you go. You're going to be able to answer your own question. Hey, what do I need on the final to get an A or a B? Okay, if our class was set up this way, this would be how you do it. Okay, ours is a little bit different. They aren't averaged together. Each one's worth the same amount of points, but you get the idea. You have the math ability to understand what your grade is and what it could be. Here's an example of that. Okay, so we read it. Let's take a deep breath. Let's read it again. We're looking for the goal and some key information. On 3 examinations, you have grades of 88, 78, and 86. There's still a final examination, which counts as 1 grade. So I've got 4 grades total. That's what I understand. That's some key information. I've got 88, 78, 86, and the final exam, okay, which I don't know yet. I haven't taken it yet. So part A says, in order to get an A, your average must be at least 90. If you get 100 on the final, compute your average and determine if an A in the course is possible. So an A, you got to get at least 90. They're saying if you get 100 on the final, compute your average and determine if an A in the course is possible. For our first goal is answering yes or no, can I get an A? Which means that I need at least 90. So you're going to start running into the phrases that translate to your greater than, less than, greater than or equal, less than or equal to. So at least means greater than or equal to 90. And if you're having trouble wondering what the words mean in terms of the symbol, ask yourself this. Well, what would a number be that's at least 90? Like, would 95 get me the A? Sure. Well, that's greater than 90. Would 90 get me the A? Sure. Well, that's equal to 90. So 95 works, 90 works, so because they're greater than and equal to. So that's what I would use for at least. So try some numbers, put them into that, is that at least 90 to get me an A, and then you'll be able to determine what the inequality is. Our second goal in part B, so that was part A. In part B, to earn a B in the course, you must have at least 80. What must you get on the final to earn a B in the course? So we want to know our final exam score to get a B. In other words, at least greater than or equal to 80. Okay, so there's our 2 goals. And from here, just checking. Focus button seems to be going a little crazy again. Sorry about that. Now, what else do they give us? Any other information? I think we've highlighted it all. Now, here's another chance to BYOF, bring our own formula to the problem. Here, they're not talking about already determined averages. We're going to have to find the average. So we add up all the items, and we're going to divide by the number of items. Okay, so in this case, we're going to take 88, 78, 86 in the final. So the average is going to be 88 plus 78 plus 86. These were all given to us, plus our final exam, divided by 4, because there's 4 exams. That will equal our grade in the class. So in part A, they say if you get 100 on the final, so let's call our final exam F. Let's call our final exam the letter F, F for final. And they say if you get 100, so we're going to let F equal 100. So we've got our 88, so in part A, we've got our 88 plus 78 plus 86 plus 100 for the final, okay? The whole thing over 4. Let's see what we get. 88 plus 78 plus 86 plus 100, that gives you a total of 352 divided by 4. And what we're asking is this greater than or equal to 90? We're just asking the question right now, okay? And so we've got 352 over 4. You divide that, you get 88. Is 88 greater than or equal to 90? No. So even if you've got 100% on the final, it does not give you a true statement to be able to get an A. So our first answer for A is no. Okay. The next question, though, asks us to find out what we would need to get on the final to get at least an 80, to guarantee ourselves a B in the class. Okay, we can't get an A, but we can at least guarantee ourselves a B. So we would set that up as 88 plus 78 plus 86 plus our final divided by 4 is greater than or equal to 80. There's the setup for what do I need to get a B in the class. I take the 3 grades I've already gotten plus my final. I find the average of those 4 because they told us that it would be an average. You must have a final average of at least 80. So 4 exams, the 3 already taken plus the final. This will give me my average. To get a B, I need to be greater than or equal to 80 at that point. Okay, so there's the setup. So now we want to solve this inequality. Before we were just comparing. Now we're going to actually get a chance to solve this inequality. So we need to get F by itself. So let's go ahead and look for parentheses. There's not. There is like terms on this left side. All these numbers. So we combine 88 plus 78 plus 86. We get 252 plus our final exam, the whole thing over 4, is greater than or equal to 80. Now we ask ourselves, what is happening to F? The first thing is that it's happening to that final exam. The first thing is that you add 252 to it. The second thing is that you divide by 4. If you were to write this as a timeline, you'd start with F and you'd add 252 and then you divide by 4. And then we're going to reverse that to undo it. We're going to go up the list and reverse that order. And do opposite operations. Instead of divide, we're going to multiply. Instead of add, we're going to subtract. Same thing here. We're going to reverse that order. We're going to multiply by 4 on both sides, then we're going to subtract by 252. Notice on this multiply by 4, it's by a positive 4. So I do not have to worry about flipping the negative, okay? There's no flip here, or I'm sorry, flipping the inequality, because I'm multiplying by positive 4 here. So I have 252 plus F over 4 greater than or equal to 80 is my original equation. I'm multiplying both sides by a positive 4. The 4's cancel on the left. That was the whole point. 252 plus F. I'm going to slide my paper up because I know I'm off the page just a little bit, off the screen here. Sorry, the timeline got off the screen here. Timeline, as I look at F, it's adding 252, divide by 4, then going back through it to undo it, you would multiply by 4 followed by subtracting 252. So 252 plus F, after you multiply both sides by 4, 4 times 80 gives you 320. Then you would subtract both sides by 252. That just follows according to our list of what we're supposed to do here. Subtract 252 on both sides. I get F is greater than or equal to 68. So I need at least a 68 on the final to be able to get an average of 80 in the class. So that means I could get a 68 and still pull off the 80, or anything better than 68 would give me an 80 in the class. Okay. Checking out my video here. Let's turn, let's see, let's go ahead and pause on the video. I'll see if I can make sure the battery doesn't run out here. I'm awfully close. But let's make this a try. Page number 172, number 110. Let you try that. So pause the video, come right back for the answer. Okay? After you've tried it, of course. But pause the video, come back after you've tried it, gotten an answer. Okay, so what you should get algebraically is that the number of miles, if you chose m as your variable, you could have just chosen x, but m should be less than or equal to 1,080 miles. So you can drive up to and including 1,080 miles. If you have $600 at most to spend for the week. Okay, up to and including 1,080 miles will cost at most $600, and we'll do this one together in class. Okay, and then of course there's review and preview exercises, and that'll get you through 2.6. We will see you in the next chapter, 3.1. This next test covers all of chapter 6 plus the first 2 sections of chapter 3. Okay, see you there.